Brothers, how you going? And the occasional sister joining us today. I want to show you something really cool. Or at least something I think is cool. You want to get on it too, dear Pace? This here is a picture of me when I was 5 years of age. I am in my little speedboat that my father built me. That's a little lawnmower motor engine, that there. Little fuel tank on it. It's like a racing boat. And it's all made out of very, very thin 3-ply. I am wearing a little ranger uniform because my dad was a ranger. It's in Tautarunui, Naval Tasman National Park, and that's the lagoon I used to go up and down in. I used to go at the front too, and that was my speedboat. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you because I just thought it was something quite a cool memory for me. That's my Facebook page that you can get it printed and made into a book. Yesterday there were sales everywhere. Black Friday sales. I think we get them from America. And Pace and me went for a drive in the truck and we got some bargains. So this bargain here, which is solid timber, that's a new shelf that I've just got. Isn't that cool? And I've had it tidy up, and it was normally $90, which is pretty cheap for a solid timber. And yesterday, I think I paid for it $65. I think that's what it was. Or no, $67, that's right, for that one there. So that's pretty cool, but that's not all I bought too. I needed to have some shelves in my bedroom, so I'll show you my bedroom. This shelf beside my bed was normally $60, which is cheap. And I got this yesterday for $45. So you can see in my bedroom that all my clothes is all stacked and piled up because I haven't had any room to put it in here because I've only got the one set of drawers. These are Rimu. Yesterday I bought these, and these were $80, but on special reduced to $60. And they're still empty, the drawers. Pretty cool, eh, Pace? So next thing I'm going to do is put my clothes that I can't fit in my room in these drawers here. So 3 items that I really need to have, and I got them dirt cheap just by waiting and buying second hand. Right, today I've had a visitor, one of my patrons, real cool guy, Don, who's been with me from 11 o'clock till just left now, and it's about 5 o'clock now, from down in Invercargill way, I think he is, or down south. I think that's where he said. I can't quite remember. I think that's what he said. But anyway, he told me some interesting things. And one thing he said, there's this stuff here he takes, which is pea protein, which I already had some, is really good for you guys that are older like me in your 50s or 60s after you do some kayak fishing or some boxing or karate or whatever it is, or mountain biking, whatever it is that you do, you physically exert yourself. He said if you have like a couple of scoops of that and put it in, you repair much faster. He says it's a huge difference. He's just done the Queen Charlotte trail. So it's pea protein. He said to me that the whey one is harder on his guts and makes him fart and burble around. Well, this one here is really, really clean on his guts. And you don't need as much for the protein because it's an animal. No, this is a plant-based one, pea protein. Obviously, it's plant-based. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Also, I talked about in a previous video that you do not want to use fluoride at all, and you don't want to use any mouthwashes because it destroys the microbiome that's in your tongue and the crypts of your tongue, which in turn makes this stuff here, green stuff that you eat, the nitrogen become a nitrite, become nitric oxide, which creates vasodilation, which makes you well and powers you up. But if you have toothpaste that's got fluoride in it or mouthwash, then it destroys completely. 99.9% of germs get killed, including the good stuff, and it stops your body producing the nitric oxide. The good news is it only takes 4 days for it to repair. And this is the one I use. It's baking soda, and it hasn't got that in it, so that's the one to use. So I wanted to answer that question for you guys that asked about that. It's a handy tip to know. Oh, it's a great life, isn't it? I just love it. Sitting back in a chair while the master's walking around. Previously, I also talked about this thing here, making smoothies. So good for you, for your micronutrients and your macronutrients if you're putting green stuff in. But what you mustn't do, and what I'm guilty of doing, is putting these suckers in there. Not only does this create a huge spike in insulin, which is bad for you, and particularly your metabolic health, and it destroys all the fibre in the banana, but what it also does is it means that when you blend your micronutrients like your kale or all your good vegetables that you're putting in there, you only really can then absorb about 20% and about 80% gets lost. So don't put bananas in your smoothies. Do the research, find out the science, and you will be sweet as bro. And it'll be something which really will help you to get better nutrition. And it's so important. These are things I didn't know that I'm learning. I'm just sharing with you. Also, yesterday at the sale, I bought 2 of these. two GoPro 10s. I mean, they're not the latest. 12 is the latest, but they were like $440 each, or $430 each. Normally around $700. So I've got two. I've given two of these away to my daughter because she's a whitewater kayak instructor and also does whitewater rafting, kayaking, sorry, not rafting, and racing. And she puts one on her head and captures all that mad shit of going over waterfall. She does grade 5. She's going to China in a couple of weeks to represent New Zealand. She's right at the very top. She's probably one of the best female kayakers in New Zealand for her age and her age group. I wanted to put something warm on before I go outside because it's actually quite cold out there, and I want to show you something that also will be helpful to those of you that grow a garden. Actually, I'll just take a teaspoon of cement and harden the fuck up because it's not that cold. It's a cold wind coming off the mountains, but it's quite sunny. But when you're as skinny as a gum digger's dog, not a dumb gigger's dog, a gum digger's dog, you can stay outside pace, not for dogs in here because there's slug pellets and that's not good for dogs. When you're skinny, like me, you feel the cold. So this is where I grow all my food in here, for those of you that haven't seen it. And I wanted to talk about the raised bed thing because some of you have raised beds, and the beauty in having a raised bed, of course, is that the sun really heats everything up and you get this really like warm soil. Everything grows really fast. Like I've only just planted these like a week ago, already getting tomatoes here. But the trouble also is, because it heats the box up so much, is your water evaporates really quick. Now you can water all day, particularly things like rhubarb and tomatoes that need a lot of water. But to my thinking, and I don't know if you agree with me, but to my thinking, there's nothing that waters your garden like rain. After you've had rain, all your plants and that, they completely they just go. And I think it's the electricity in it, it just makes everything go. These are my courgettes down here. I've just planted about a week ago, and I put a wind shelter up here and also a big wind shelter there because the wind has been thrashing them, and now they're really starting to take off. This soil is from down in the gully, and it's where my duck pond is. But over here I've made this razor bed. If you're a patron, you've already seen this. I can't remember if I showed you guys or not, but it's a really simple design to give you a really awesome garden, and stuff grows so fast and you don't have the drying out problem. I've only planted this a week ago, this plant. It was tiny, and already I can see a courgette starting here. It's just happened so quick. We don't want the slug pellets on there. I'm not sure there's actually any slugs in there, but we'll see how we get on. It won't be after they suck on those. And I'm getting little tomatoes at this end here already, and these are just been put in like just a week ago, and they're going to go really fast. So what we've got is the box. I built it out of just this decking, which is really fits together well, and I've used 3 bits, and then I put a line. You can see the plastic in the corner there. It's completely lined with plastic, so it's watertight. And what I've got is up to about here, I've got big round rocks off the beach. You can use river rocks so long as they're not sharp, but you can't use schist or anything because it'll damage your plastic sitting on. And so the round rocks, and then on top of that I've got stones up to about here, and then from there I've got this awesome compost mixed with fish, and I've got this pipe that's going down here. You can see under the tomato there, and that goes down to the rocks, so you can fill the whole thing up with water, and it will hold water up to my overflow pipe, which is here. You can see there's a little bit of stuff coming out of here now, a bit of green stuff. That's basically the water that's in the bottom of my tank. So it goes up to here, and the water will be sitting on there. So this is constantly hydrated all the time. I've only filled it up once, and when we get rain, it fills it up, and that fills up the reservoir again. So you don't have to hardly water at all. You only water your plants for the first 2 or 3 weeks until their roots can reach down to where the source of the water is, which is those wet stones. And that gives you a self-watering garden. As the rain goes, it stays in and keeps topping it up. And only if it really dries up do you need to fill up your pipe at the end rather than water your plants. And these guys, they are growing so fast, it's incredible. I've got a lot of plants in here. I've got like passion fruit, I've got watermelon, I've got bok choy, I've got dill, a few marigolds, I've got some of my favourite kale over there, I've got basil there, I've got chives over there. I've even got some watercress down here. Believe it or not, watercress, as you know, needs a real wet environment. It's an aqua vegetable. Under here I've got some, sorry, not watercress, I tell a lie. That there is wasabi. So pretty cool stuff. Anyway, I'm going to build another one of these. And when I do, It's going to be freaking awesome because I'll have 2 and I'll have more vegetables. This is my kumara, first time growing it. This plant is a pomegranate, and in the same plant is also asparagus, which is 2nd year growing. So I haven't picked it, I've just let these spears come up and grow. So the 3rd year I'll harvest. And this is my corn, and it's going really well. And beside the corn I've also got another row yet of kumara, because I think we're going to have a shortage of kumara next year since the floods. So I've got my runner beans at the end. This is a local brand of boysenberry called Mapua, where I'm from, growing in here. More beans over here. Loganberries, which I've got wild growing. More loganberries and passion fruit. And more bok choy in here. And the beauty of this place is it's completely pest proof. It's got this mesh to keep the birds out and a door to keep you out. That's fine, man. I wanted to come and say hello. What are you doing locking me out of there? My phone's completely cut off and I'm eating a bit of grass because I can't. Okay, Pace, the other one, I'm doing a vlog, mate. No, I want to be here. I want to be... No, go away, please. I'm doing a vlog. Go away. I want to be here, man. I want to stay here and eat this grass. I was here first anyway. Okay, just let me go over here. See that there? I've got this wire mesh that goes up to here. And the wire mesh goes down to the ground. And then it goes along at the bottom and it comes out. So the rabbits can't dig into it. This here's my duck pond. And as you can see, I've completely let it dry out. Well, almost, because I want the duck shit. That stuff is really good on the garden. I'm a really great believer in mulching stuff, and that there means that you don't have to weed much. Absolute banger crop of broad beans this year. These are my leeks. Normally I put a ring around them, like a bit of pipe, so they're white, but I haven't done it. This time I've got some sort of orange stuff. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of this rust here on the plant. Like you rub it on your hands and then you get it on there, see it's yellow. I don't know what's with that there. It's not going to focus. Here we go. Not really, but it's an orangey colour on the plants. Don't know what it is. Not sure about it. Hey, Chook, okay? There's a few birds that do sneak around and get the odd berry. And this guy's after worms, I think. My strawberry bed is literally a bed. That's bed springs you can see through there. And then on top of that is just the guttering off the house, the old guttering I took off. And the old sewage pipe, what I've done is I've completely cut it in half, and I've filled this up, been growing for a couple of years. You can see I'm getting strawberries, but I'm also getting some nice watercress growing in there as well. Move along, ducks. I want to show them these here. How about that? Spring onions growing in a bit of pipe. Works good. I eat them every day. Fresh as. Really good. They've also got this orange aphid on them, I think. Look at this here. So I'm not sure about that. I think it's an aphid. What do you use for that, guys, to get it off? Anybody got any good tips? It's on some of my plants. I don't like it, eh? My little shade house here, and I've got wasabi that I've seeded. This is my own wasabi I've done. Pace looking for a rat around here. That's wasabi there. And that's another pomegranate plant, that one there. And that's where my asparagus is also, and I fenced that off. And again, I'm getting that sort of orangey thing on my leeks, on the leaves. Not sure about that either. But the birds can't get in there, neither can the hares and the rabbits. The glass house is pumping. So I got these down the beach. You can get these down the beach. One of my last primitive challenge, I took a cutting back home with me from it. And these are one of the things that I ate. Here we go, beautiful berry. That there is your Cape gooseberry. Very high ORAC value and tasty. Tomatoes all staked and good to go. A few chilies. And there's these little white flies in here. They're little white flies you get. You give it a shake, see them coming out. You can get a sticky thing from the mega store and they'll fly and get stuck to it, and I think that's what I'm going to do because I don't like them either. Queensland blue pumpkins, I seeded those myself. The duck came in and picked those ones out when they were still going because I left the bloody door open. I'll super duck pick them, but I'm growing those now too. Got a wee citrus grow as well, but the rats have been getting into it, so I've picked most of my citrus. They've been going around all my fruit and they've been doing this. See that? That there's completely bloody, like they've taken the whole skin off the outside and gnawed it with their little rat teeth. I don't think it's possums, I'm pretty sure it's rats. To the point that all of these lemons here, they're only baby lemons, you know, we've lost a whole lot from the rats. So I've taken all the rest off. It's just not really any, you know, point. So even the little wee ones here, this bastard plant can come out too. I just wanted to show you around my garden because I'm proud of my garden, because I'm not very good at gardening and I've only been doing it for 3 years since COVID. Come inside, Pace. Come on, mate. And I think it's something that we can all do, even if you haven't got a lot of land. You could just like make in little pots. You can grow a lot of stuff in pots. That's how I started off. And That way you've got a food source which you're growing yourself. You think you're coming up here, do you, mate? Is that what you think you're doing, eh? Well, I didn't say you could, but it looks like you're already here. Fucking right I am, man. Oh, your favourite dog. Oh, I'm struggling to get up there. Oh, I'm stuck. No, I don't want you sniffing. Just sit down. Here's a good dog. What's wrong with you, then? What's your problem? There's nothing that's my problem. Just sit down and relax, okay? Why don't you want to give me a pat, man? Come on, give me a pat. Give me some attention. Show me some love. Come on. No, I'm not. You just stay there and go away. Oh, for fuck's sake, don't be so nasty. You're mean. You're mean. No, I'm not. I feed you, look after you. I'm just trying to do a vlog. Go away. I don't want to go away. I want a pat. Come on, give me some love. Oh, I'll do that then. I'll give myself some love there. You bet you wish you could do that, eh? Fucking. Okay, that's enough. I'm doing a vlog and you're being disgusting. Cut it out. Right, we'll try and get back to the vlog without him being rude. My apologies for pace. Sometimes he's a bit inappropriate. A little bit inappropriate, to say the least. Don't give me the cute thing. I got this thing the other day on my phone. I won't say the business's name because they're already getting my business. I bought some stuff. Hunting and fishing stuff. Anyway, and you go into the shop and you buy the stuff and that's cool. And then I get a thing in the mail, like email, going, how did we do? Please answer the survey. And I thought, I'm not going to fucking do that. And I've had a few of these surveys. You go somewhere, you give someone your business and then you've got to, how did we do? No, I'm your customer. I'm paying the money. You don't spend even more of my time so you can better your business. I've already given you business. The best thing you could do is piss off and let me just, you stink, Pace, and let me just enjoy the product that I bought, that I paid for, without me having to do more work. Because everything's work. Everything's got this, you got to answer this, you got to answer that, and tick the boxes. And it's like you have a problem with your phone. I had the same thing, like my phone wouldn't work. And phone up the provider and got this girl, and she was actually I couldn't really understand her because her accent sounded Indian. And then I had to do a survey later. It said, let us know how you found our service. Well, I don't want to do that, so I didn't do it. But do you guys get that too? And do you think that it's a waste of our time? Well, I don't know what you think, but I think it's their business. They should just pull their finger out and run their business the best they can, and that should be what they stand by, rather than us have to do surveys and how they could be better. Is it maybe, just maybe, so all the people that are working for them know that there's going to be a survey about them to make their staff more productive? That's a bit mean, isn't it? People should naturally be loving their job and doing it or not in the job. And people should give the best service just regardless of what someone's going to do, but that's not human nature. In fact, human nature is often very, very shitty. And I've told you guys this story before, and I'll tell you again for those of you who've either forgotten or weren't in the Brocheck Club at the time. And that's probably not that long ago I told it, but we had earthquakes, terrible earthquakes here in New Zealand, and Christchurch earthquakes where people got killed, stuff got destroyed, and businesses couldn't provide local shops with produce because everything just ground to a halt, literally. And one of the things that ground to a halt here in Nelson was baby milk powder. And there were two women that used to live in Mapua that were neighbours, that were friends, and I won't say their names because they might see this and get upset about it, but it's just a harsh reality of human nature. And they were in the aisle at Pack and Save, and I went down the aisle and I saw one of them and I said, "G'day, such and such." She said, "Oh, hi," and she had a baby on her hip. And the neighbour on the other side, who's her neighbour, was also in the shop at the same time. And I thought, oh, they must have come in the same car, but it turned out they didn't. It was just a coincidence that they were both there at the same time. Or was it a coincidence? I don't know. But anyway, one of them was looking for baby milk powder, and of course it was running short, and there was 4 tins left on the shelf. And the first woman took all the 4 as her friend, the other neighbour, came up and she said, "Oh, can I get one of those for," and I won't say the baby's name. And the other woman said, "Well, no, these are going to last me because there's none anymore." And she said, "But you've taken all the last ones." And they ended up having a fight over 1 tin. And you know how when you lift the lid off, you've got another seal that's like a sort of it's a tin stuff, like a foil? They actually fought so bad in the shop that the tin came off, and then the foil got broken with one of their fingers trying to grab it and scoop it. And then there was baby milk powder on the floor. And I thought these 2 women were friends and they're fighting over something which is, if there's enough for both, one won't share it. And I thought, this is the cracks of how people really are starting to show when we have a little bit of threat, like I might not be able to feed my child. This is what comes out of primitive survival thing. And we saw the same thing with COVID and toilet paper. People just fighting for toilet paper. I mean, what's the worst could happen if you ran out of toilet paper? You could use some newspaper, or you could go out and get some dock leaves. There's something you can use dock for, guys. But really, humans, the cracks show very quickly when things start to go wrong. So I guess I'd say, brothers, check that your crack's not showing when something goes wrong. Yeah, we're a funny breed, aren't we? It's a funny world, and it doesn't take long for things to go pear-shaped and people start to show their true colours. Not everybody does. Some of us would like to think that we are a little bit more compassionate and tolerant when things go wrong, but you never know until it happens to you. You never know. Anyway, I got to get back out in the garden and keep working, because gardens like that are basically 90% weeding and keeping the pests off. And because I don't have many pests, it's just weeding and more weeding. And I want to start building some stuff for my garden. I need a little shed to put my tools in, and I do need to build another planter box. I've got the timber there. This is the Brocheck Club. Just a bit of a rave today around the farm. Nothing amazing, just me sharing with you. Remember, I'm always prepared to be wrong on anything I'm saying, and I'm prepared to be corrected. I don't think I'm always right, and I don't think any of us are always right. And for that reason, if there's something that you don't feel is right, just say below, you're wrong, Clay, and this is why, and here's the link to the proof, or the long-term study, or anything, because I'm always keen to, like science, follow where the truth is and go to what's going on, being awake to what's happening, but also the latest that's happening, because science is always prepared to change if it finds something that's better, and I like to think the same. If I'm doing something that could be done better, I want to be the guy doing it, and that's where it's really great having a YouTube channel, because I've got you guys to pull me up. Right, I've got to motivate, so I'll catch you in the next Brocheck Club video. See you later, and go steady. You're a good boy. What good noise I am, and don't you forget it, man. I'm the best doggy in the whole world. Well, I wouldn't say the best, but you're pretty good. No, I'm the best in the whole world. There you go, shake hands. Shake hands, good boy.